What's up, everyone? I'm back at y'all with another video. Now, with this one, I'm going to be ranking all 13 of the Halloween movies from worst to best. Now, I'm a huge diehard fan of the Halloween franchise. Michael Myers is definitely my number one horror slasher of all time. So, yeah. And some of this list switched throughout the year, you know? So, yeah, so let's begin. And some of these could be a little controversial. So yeah, let's begin. At number 13 is Halloween Resurrection. This movie is fucking terrible. From the directing standpoint, the kills was horrible. And just the fact that one of the main characters, Busta Rhymes, ends up defeating Michael Myers by the end just by simply learning martial arts from a martial arts film. No. No. Get that shit the fuck out of here. Don't like that. Halloween Resurrection is terrible. And forgot to mention that Jamie Lee Curtis dies at the pretty much at the opening scene of the fucking movie in a lazy way too. You know, at least when you kill her off, at least kill her off in a unique way. Don't kill her off in a lazy ass way because she's an iconic final girl, and then they decided to kill her off at the first few minutes of the movie. Doesn't make any sense to me. Now my number 12 is Halloween 5. Now, Halloween 5, the mask is terrible. Let's face it, most of the masks in this franchise are terrible, but some of those were legit good movies. Halloween 5, on the other end, isn't a good movie. And also, they kept Jamie Lloyd mute throughout the film, and this movie's boring throughout the film as well. This whole movie's just boring and bland. And it kind of made Dr. Loomis an unlikable character in a way in this film, which I wasn't a fan of. So yeah, that's why Halloween 5 is at my number 12. Coming at my number 11 is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Now, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, they definitely made Dr. Loomis an unlikable prick in that movie. Like, why would you make one of the most iconic characters in horror movie history like a prick? Why? So yeah, and also the White Horse bullshit, didn't like that. I like some of the kills. That's the only thing I was going for, is some of the kills. And some of the directing style. That's about it. But other than that, this movie was terrible. Didn't like it whatsoever. So yeah, that's why it's at my number 11. Coming in at my number 10 is Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Now, the kills in this film, phenomenal. The mask, phenomenal. The mood and atmosphere, the Halloween feel, phenomenal. That's only what it's got going for it. This movie, then again, it was boring. And yeah, that's why it sits at my number 10. It's not my favorite Halloween movie by far. It's just isn't that great of a movie in my opinion. Coming in at my number 9 is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Now I understand this movie is starting to have a cult following, but I enjoyed this film. It's not my favorite. I enjoyed it. I liked how it was nice change of pace. This film wasn't about Michael Myers anymore, but I enjoyed it. But there's a lot of very slow parts throughout this film. You know, but Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, I enjoyed it. It has a decent enough story. So yeah, it's at my number 9. But most people probably would expect it to go a little bit higher because there's a cult following for Halloween 3 nowadays. So, but it's still at my number 9. Coming in at my number 8 is Rob Zombie's first Halloween remake. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. The kills was awesome. The mask was awesome. I liked the feel of this film. This film was like, I'll put it y'all this way. It's like the original Halloween on steroids, pretty much. It's like the original Halloween turned up to an 11 in a way because it's like the more brutal version of the original Halloween. And I enjoyed, like, I know a lot of people don't, but I enjoyed Michael Myers' backstory throughout this film. So yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween, I enjoyed it. It's not perfect. I could have done without, the too much of the F bombs, fuck this, fuck that, throughout like the first few minutes of the movie, but yeah, this film isn't perfect, but I still think it's enjoyable. Coming in at my number 7 is Halloween 2 from 1981. Now, some people would put this as the very, very top. I enjoyed this movie. I loved how it takes place immediately after the original Halloween, and they use the same mask as the original, but of course it looked different because it's been sitting on the shelf, for a while. But yeah, Halloween 2 from 1981. I enjoyed this film a lot. It just isn't my favorite, but I do enjoy this film quite a bit. And I like the mood and atmosphere and stuff and all that. Because when I go see a Halloween movie, I want to see good directing and good mood and atmosphere when I go see a Halloween movie. So, yeah, when I watch a Halloween movie, that's what I expect. And that's what this movie kind of delivers. They up the kills from the original. So, yeah, the original Halloween 2, it's a decent enough sequel, in my opinion. Coming in at my number 6 is Halloween Ends. Now, when I first watched it, it was a little bit higher. That's why I had to watch it a few times and make sure if my thoughts have changed. And it has a little bit. Now, Halloween Ends, I liked how different it was. And to me, it in my opinion, it wrapped up the story. It wrapped up the David Gordon Green Halloween trilogy perfectly in this film, in my opinion. I enjoyed the mood and atmosphere. The only one issue I have with this movie was the way the character Corey just simply tackles Michael Myers, takes his mask off. That easy. I know Michael Myers is injured, but he was a badass in Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. And I don't get it, but yeah, that's the only issue I have with it. But some of the kills were decent. This has some of the weakest kills, but there's one or two kills that are very standout kills. And I enjoyed the story that they told here and there with Halloween Ends. And I liked how they wrapped everything up by the end. I liked the ending. I liked the opening scene. It's the opening scene and the ending is probably some of the best moments in the franchise. Some of the best moments in my opinion. But yeah, Halloween Ends. It's a decent enough sequel. And I think, in my opinion, it wrapped up David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy perfectly, in my opinion. So yeah, but it's not a perfect movie, of course. Now, coming up at number 5, now we're in my top 5, is Halloween H2O. Now, Halloween H2O, I love that movie. When I first watched that, when I was younger, quite a few years ago, for the first time, years ago, I loved this movie. I freaking fell in love with it. I watched it constantly. And, and I like this change of pace. It started feeling like more of a Scream film in this film. And I like that little change of pace throughout this movie. So, yeah, Halloween H2O is definitely awesome. And I love the ending where Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers finally face off. And she ends up cutting Michael Myers' head off by the end. This could have been a very awesome ending to the whole franchise. Of course, this one is a direct sequel to part 2, but if they ended it at this franchise, I wouldn't have minded it. So yeah, Halloween H2O, damn good sequel. Love this movie a lot. Coming up number 4 is Halloween Kills. Now, of course, it's changed. It used to be in my top 3, and Halloween Kills is awesome in my opinion. The mood and atmosphere is great. The Michael Myers mask was great. It gave me that, Halloween feel at times in Halloween Kills, which I loved, and all the kills were unique. All the kills are great, and I loved Halloween Kills, and I loved how this had high stakes. No one was safe throughout this film, and Michael Myers won by the end, and I loved it for that. So yeah, and I love the flashback scenes as well, because it gave me that Halloween 1978 vibe. So yeah, this film, very good. Coming up number 3 is Halloween 2018. Now, Halloween 2018 was awesome. The story standpoint, Laurie Strode dealt with trauma, the way she dealt with it in this film was great. And I loved the ending. It was suspenseful, and the kills were great. Michael Myers' mask was great. The soundtrack was great. Everything about this movie was great, in my opinion. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. This movie is definitely going to probably stay at my top 3, unless they come up with another Halloween movie that ends up being better. So yeah. Coming up number 2 is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. I fucking love this movie. Like, literally, these top 2, actually these top 2, were so hard for me to choose between 1978 Halloween and Halloween 4. I always have a hard time choosing between which one of these two are my favorites of the franchise. Halloween 4 has awesome mood atmosphere. It felt like Halloween. It felt like the fall season. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. The only issue I have with it was the way the mask looked. But other than that, this movie was awesome. I'm never bored during this movie. This movie is great from start to finish, in my opinion. The mood and atmosphere, the Halloween feel and vibe. Love that. So yeah, that's why Halloween 4 is at my number 2. Coming up at number 1 is, y'all guessed it, Halloween 1978. Like, why wouldn't this be my number 1 favorite out of the franchise? Why wouldn't this be? This movie, I love how you gotta pay attention to the whole entire movie. Michael Myers could be like right behind me, like right behind these characters, and it's like, if you're not paying attention, you can't catch on to it, because Michael Myers could be behind the curtains. Michael Myers could be over there. And I loved how slow burn this movie is, and the mask was great. The soundtrack was also great. The mood and atmosphere that John Carpenter brought to the original Halloween was great. So yeah, the original Halloween is at my number 1 spot. It's a classic. It's a masterpiece. I love this movie a lot. So yeah, I guess over this video, let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments below. How would y'all rank the Halloween franchise down below? So yeah, I guess over this video, if y'all enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe and share. And also hit the bell so you know when the video is uploaded. Peace out. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Now I'm out. Peace.